Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, welcome. Welcome. Getting a new Exorcist movie, aren't we? Well, it's looking likely anyway. Mike Flanagan is in talks to direct The Exorcist. Interesting. This is certainly an interesting development. Why is this an interesting development? Because David Gordon Green, of course, directed the most recent Exorcist Believer, or whatever it was called, which was a huge bomb. This entire deal that Universal made for The Exorcist was insane. I appreciate that some of it was in part so they could get access to maybe something for, Universal Studios, the park. But overall, this was a real bad deal. It doesn't really make sense why they did it initially either. It was like $500 million for the rights, just for the rights, to then have to pay for an Exorcist movie. And the deal was to make 3 Exorcist films. So to afford $500 million, I think it was $400 million. Then you have the budget for the Exorcist film on top of it as well. You have to make insane sums of cash to be profitable. It was a really, really bizarre decision, bizarre choice that they made. And because David Gordon Green, was sort of like all singing, all dancing, everyone was like, wow, David Gordon Green, what a great guy. He did the Halloween films. Oh, he's amazing. And then, of course, those Halloween films started to bomb. Yeah, not a good choice. But now Mike Flanagan's here, so interesting. Interesting choice. This is a report by Deadline. And it says, Mike Flanagan is in talks to direct next Exorcist movie for Blumhouse Universal. Weird choice. Now, we all know Mike Flanagan. He did a lot of stuff with Netflix. I like his stuff, to be fair. A lot of his stuff I quite like. It's weird. He's not a weird pick for it. I think he's a good pick. But it's just weird that they even tried to do this in the first place. Very, very strange decision. And I maintain they should just cut their losses. Because this next film's not going to make profit either. Even with Mike Flanagan attached. It's just not. These films are not $400 million films. They're not $500 million films. They're not $300 million films. They're just not. Exorcist films don't do very well. They're at best $250 million films at the box office. And that's okay, that's fine. $250 million for a horror film of this sort of caliber is fantastic. That's great. You make it for like $10 million, you've got insane profits. But when you're paying $400 million for the rights, weird. But yeah, so renowned genre filmmaker Mike Flanagan is in talks to direct the next Exorcist film for Blumhouse and Universal Pictures, sources have confirmed to Deadline. Universal and Blumhouse declined to comment, makes sense. Now it says there, should a deal make, Flanagan would take over the reins from David Gordon Green, who exited the rebooted franchise back in January. I wonder why. Universal and Blumhouse bought the rights to The Exorcist from Morgan Creek back in July of 2021 for $400 million. I just cannot believe that. I cannot believe that. Now, that wasn't a permanent rights deal, by the way. It wasn't, we've purchased the rights and we now own it. It was, we've purchased the rights to make 3 films and do some stuff with parks as well. Crazy. It says this, while the plan at that point was for at least 3 films to be made, it's unclear whether Flanagan would be on for more than one. Yeah. Yep. I can believe that. I think he's probably just attaching himself to maybe one and going like, you know what? Let's just see how that one does, shall we? Anyway. So starring Leslie Odom Jr. as well as franchise veteran Ellen Burstyn, which is a weird choice to bring back as well. Trilogy launcher, The Exorcist Believer, fell beneath expectations when it opened to a soft $26.4 million domestic last October, going on to gross $65.5 million in the domestic market and only $136.2 million worldwide. That was awful. It was genuinely an atrocious sum of money that it pulled. Like really, really not good at all. What was it? Scroll back up. $136.2 million worldwide. Not great. when the film had a budget of $30 million. So that film would have made some money, right? Make no mistake, that film would have made some money, but they've got to recoup the rights cost as well. Like, that's not good. So $400 million for rights, $30 million for the film. I mean, you need to. Yeah, they're well in the black. They got no money at all. Like they're terrible. It's so insane, the sums of money that they paid. Doesn't make any sense. Now, originally set to hit theatres April 18th, 2025, the sequel, The Exorcist Deceiver, was pushed when Green bowed out, with Lionsgate's Michael Jackson biopic Michael taking its place in that slot. Green went on to direct the film Nutcrackers, marking Ben Stiller's first starring role in 6 years, also returning to work on the HBO The Righteous Gemstones, whose 4th season has not yet been dated for release. Coming off of the Stephen King adaptation The Life of Chuck, starring Tom Hiddleston, Mark Hamill and more, Flanagan prior to that created The Fall of the House of Usher for Netflix, gothic horror miniseries taking inspiration from the stories of Edgar Allan Poe, previously taking on King with projects like Dr. Sleep, Gerald's Game, Ouija, Origin of Evil, Oculus, The Haunting of Hill House, The Haunting of Bly Manor, The Midnight Club, loads of stuff for Netflix. So, you know, we know who Mike Flanagan is. Is he a good pick for an Exorcist film? Let's remove the sort of financial elements out the way, because that's inarguable. They never should have paid $400 million for the rights. Fucking insane. But Mike Flanagan as an Exorcist director is a good idea. He's a good director. I like his direction. I think he'll make a good Exorcist film. I think it'll be pretty deep, thought-provoking, philosophical, introspective, all manner of words to describe pretty much the same sort of outlook on filmmaking. I like Mike Flanagan's outlook on filmmaking. Generally speaking, Mike Flanagan's an expert when it comes to long shots as well. Just one-take long shots, which are brilliant. I'm all game for that. You know, if you set that up perfectly like he has done for many, many things, yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. I think he's a great pick. But overall, this is not something they should have ever pursued to begin with. It's a stupid decision overall. Exorcist did not, you know, it's a $200 million franchise at best. So this is a losing game straight from the off. But Mike Flanagan's a good pick. This is good news. We will get a good film, right? Mike Flanagan, David Gordon Green. Mike Flanagan, David Gordon Green. We will get a good film with Mike Flanagan. Guaranteed. Like, I guarantee you it will be a good film. So I'm looking forward to this film. But still, terrible decision from Universal. Idiots. Absolute idiots. Leave your thoughts down below there, guys. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And also, if you're a returning subscriber, please do consider becoming a Patreon, where I am going to be playing Fallout 4 for you guys. So become a patron, link down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.